Hey, it's Dr. Schiller, and today is the last day of enrollment for Movement Towards Health. That's my online program that brings you through a whole set of skills development of healing your mind, healing your body, so you can have less pain, less suffering, more mobility, more function. And today's the last day, so if you're interested, really check this out and think about it. First of all, I want to just express some gratitude to the people who've signed up and the other people who've left so many amazing questions and comments, and I really appreciate the enthusiasm and the engagement. I find that the more I give over this work, the more my own heart opens, the more I understand it more deeply, the more easily I'm able to share it, and hopefully that makes it more effective for you and whoever else is engaged in it. So the most common category of question at this point is, well, what are the practical logistics? And let's unpack that a little bit. And there's two parts to the logistics, like what's the actual content and format, and then like what are the cost structures and that sort of stuff. Let's talk about the format first. There's three main parts to where you absorb information in this program. The first is live sessions, and those live sessions happen twice a month on Zoom. And what we do in those live sessions is basically four kinds of learning. There is sitting meditation practices or lying down meditation practices. There are didactics where we actually study together anatomy, physiology, holistic medical science. So you can actually get insight and understand some of these things that are very relevant to what's going on in your mind and body as you move down this path of healing. The third aspect is like inquiry and Q&A. And Q&A is fairly straightforward question answer, right? But there's a deeper aspect of it, which is that the practices are really about enabling you to encounter your own being, to meet your experience, to drop into a quiet place and meet the higher intelligence that actually helps you heal and make good decisions, and to meet the aspects of your being that are obstacles to that kind of are in the habit of not wanting that. We're all stuck to a certain degree in places that want us to stay small. And when we start to get open and get big, those places come up and say, no, wait a second, you're small. So there's resistance that comes up. There's resistance to the practice. There's resistance to doing the work of healing. And the inquiry is about how to meet that resistance. And there's no pressure to talk about anything in these, publicly in the live sessions, for sure. You can stay in the back and just be there and listen. But those people who step forward and say, hey, this is the challenge I'm working with, we talk about it. Sometimes it's somebody else in the group who has something really relevant and helpful to share. Sometimes it's me speaking from my experience of long-time meditation and transformational practice and teaching. And that's often incredibly helpful, not only to the person who's asking the question, but to the people who are listening who might have a similar question. There's another element to that I want to speak about a little bit later when we talk about the levels of the course and the cost. But that inquiry is a very deep process, and it's a very deep aspect of healing. So, and then the fourth part of the live sessions, we talked about sitting and lying down meditation. We talked about didactics and learning. We talked about Q&A and inquiry. And the fourth part is moving meditation and mindful movement. And that's just this great stuff that I love to do and share, and it's transformative and powerful because it's basically about taking that calm consciousness, which deepens and deepens as you go forward. You meet deeper levels of yourself, and you bring that into your body. And your body helps you find it. It's a two-way street. We do these movements that are based on Tai Chi, yoga, rehabilitation science, and osteopathy. It's about contacting the deeper levels of your tissues, about reconnecting the integration of your neuromuscular control, of your myofascial system and your structural system of your body. So those are the four things we do in those live sessions. Those sessions are recorded and cut into smaller chunks, and they go in the library of recordings. And so the library of recordings is building with those live sessions, and it also has its own content that is there and is evolving in response to the conversations and the things that people in the program need and voice. So it's a very rich set of recordings. So the recordings are there to help you practice what you learned in class. The recordings are there to help you practice and learn techniques that aren't talked about in class, or if you're not involved in the live sessions, the recordings are there for you to learn from, for you to walk down this path. And it's an ongoing process to organize all of those recordings. It's a lot of information, and the whole idea is to organize it so it's easy for you to use. And so, we're developing sections shorter, various lengths. Like you might have 10 minutes to practice, or 20, or 30, or an hour. So you want to find stuff that's appropriate for that time period. The other aspect of organization is the level of intensity, especially around the mindful movement, because some people, it's really hard to move. Maybe you just had surgery. Maybe you got really bad fibromyalgia or chronic fatigue. Maybe your pain is so bad that if you move for more than 5 minutes, you're wrecked. So there are segments and a whole section for that's called stage 1, where you're just learning the basics of self-healing, where you're going to focus more on consciousness work and emotional mental healing. And then there's stuff that's more advanced, and advanced enough for people who are actually at a higher level and really just want to integrate their body and be stronger and more powerful and more balanced and flexible, and who want to bring meditative consciousness into the body and want to bring body awareness into their consciousness. So those are the recorded sessions. And then there is the online community. It's an asynchronous community, meaning it's a gated community that only members can get to, and it's a place for sharing. There's a place there for you sharing your questions and me responding to it, or other people in the program responding to it. So it's like a continuation of the inquiry and Q&A, but it's 24/7 there. You can make a post that's video, that's text, that's pictures, that whatever it is, and we can talk about things together. There's a part there for sharing resources. So say that, Roberta comes up with this beautiful picture or something that she took when she was meditating, and she wants to share it. She shares it, and it touches everybody's heart. Or someone wants to share a picture of their pet, or someone wants to share an essay or an article that touched them. Because there's so many ways, there's so many aspects of how you can learn to consistently get into a place of that calm clarity, which is anti-inflammatory and healing. And so the idea is to have a rich set of resources that you can grab onto no matter where you're at, no matter what's going on. There's some aspect of it that you can plug into. Okay, so that's kind of an overview of how do you get the information, how do you get the learning, right? And just distinguishing that there's informational learning and there's experiential learning, and we're doing both. And so there's the live sessions, there's the online community, and then there's the recorded sessions, and they're all kind of synergistic with each other. Personally, I believe that the full picture package of getting the live sessions and the community is the best way to go. The recordings are great. You can get a lot out of just learning from the recordings, but you're not going to get the same degree of community support. You're going to be alone with the recordings. And if you're in the section that has the recordings and the community support, that's also very good. There's a give and take. There's a community experience of learning. But then the live sessions add something additional because it's live. It's in the moment, because it gives you an opportunity for us to interact in real time in a live sort of way. And because it keeps you engaged in the work. You got a place to be. You show up. Okay, it's Monday, right? Yeah. So that's the next question. When are those live sessions? Everybody wants to know. So the way it's been working is that we've been doing them on Mondays, alternate Mondays, at 11 a.m. New York time, which is 6 p.m. Eastern European time. That's my time zone. That's where the intention is for us to continue to go, but there's potential to be flexible with that depending on who shows up and enrolls. And if 15 people from Australia enrolled and want to be in the live sessions, well then okay, I'm going to add another live session when it's 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock in the morning my time, so that people in Australia can do it in the evening. So let's figure this out. We'll figure it out as we go, but the initial assumption is live sessions are 6 p.m. Eastern European time, 11 a.m. New York time, every other Monday. Okay, so that is an overview of the content and the structure of the program and the three different kind of buckets of experience and information and knowledge and learning that we have. So I hope that's useful. We are ending enrollment today, so if you're interested, go for it, or at least gain more information. You can also reach out to me with an email or a PM. I made another video that talks about the actual pricing structure. There's 3 levels of enrollment, and you might want to look at that before you decide how you want to enroll so that you can make a good decision about what's really best for you. You can get to that through the link that's in the notes to this video. I didn't want to make this such a long video. That one's actually pretty important. So if you're serious about joining, check that out first and then join. And besides that, thank you for watching. Thanks for being part of this whole enrollment period thing. I'm just learning how to reach out to people and do this. And so this is a little bit of a wild ride to me. My main thing is let me show up, teach, share, participate in your process, and hopefully help you move to a good place and a healing place and a feeling better place. So thanks for your attention. Feel free to share all this stuff with people you know and love and care about, and be in touch. Feel free to leave a comment, PM, whatever it is.